On paper, this movie looks like a slam dunk, a bunch of people stuck on a train when all hell breaks loose. This could have been Indonesia's version of Train to Busan. Train horror movies are some of my favourite types of horror flicks. I love the idea of getting on a long distance train and getting somewhere new. But in the back of my mind, I always wonder, how would I react if there was a zombie outbreak or a rat infestation while I was stuck in a tin can coffin? After seeing the trailer for this film, I was really hoping I could add this title to my rotation of train horror movies. But unfortunately, this one fails to reach the platform when it comes to fun, excitement, and terror. A newly opened train line is taking its inaugural 7-hour trip to an idyllic mountainside resort complex. On board this train are two sisters, a woman looking for her husband, the manager of the project, his boss, a series of investors, and a handful of train staff, as well as about 100 other passengers. The trip to the resort weaves through an ancient forest and through 5 tunnels, but each time the train enters a tunnel, it exits with one less carriage. As the train loses carriages, the survivors realize there's a vengeful spirit on board and they need to work out how to stop it before they reach their destination. So there's no zombie outbreak, hence it's nothing like the Train to Busan, even though there will be the typical comparisons, mine included. What this is instead is a typical Indonesian supernatural film. However, this title doesn't seem to be based on any real actual urban legend, although I could be wrong. This movie has a very strong environmental message. It starts with a large tree being cut down and a local spirit medium warning the project manager to stop what they're doing or face the wrath of the forest spirits. And this is the first part of the movie that makes no sense. Why does the forest spirit allow them to finish construction of the train line and then decide to start its murder spree the first time the train is taking innocent passengers? There is mention of missing workers, which leads to the inclusion of one of the characters, but considering what happens at the end of the film, it makes no sense that the forest spirit allowed the construction to be completed. Speaking of the ending, I did enjoy it. It was certainly out of left field and really emphasized the movie's message of Mother Nature takes back everything that was hers and nothing will get in her way. That was kind of cool. What's not cool is the 1990s immersion-breaking CGI used all throughout the film. Sweeping shots of the train exterior look flat, while the digitally enhanced tunnels look out of place. But they're not as bad as those tree-growing effects that look directly out of some kind of 1990s video game. On top of that, everything else feels flat in the film. It takes a long time for people to notice the missing carriages. The fight in the VIP section is just plain silly, as if grown men can't overpower a cancer-stricken woman. And the main spirit's killing ability is weak compared to her cohorts. But the film is super gory and there are a lot of head explosions if that's the kind of thing that you're into. It just doesn't make sense why most of the people get killed. They had nothing to do with the destruction of the forest. All up, this movie was an unfortunate letdown. Now, considering the director of the film is one of my favourite Indonesian directors, who directed my favourite Indonesian horror movie in Kuntilanak, I was hoping he could do a much better job. Now, using my patent pending ghost rating, which stands for great horror or stupid trash, this movie only gets 2 ghosts. A real disappointment in its logic and effects that's really only saved by some interesting characters and some gory kills. But as always, what did you think of it? I'm the Artie Dans. You've been watching Shockmania. Please leave a comment down below if you've seen the film. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time.